Good evening. My name is Chad Bynum. I am the principal here at Lincoln High School, and this is our online orientation presentation. Normally, in a normal school year, we do this over a course of a couple of days in the gym where we collect fees and hand out schedules and take care of all of those things here in the gym. Unfortunately, due to the current health crisis, we're not able to do that. So we are putting out our orientation online for parents to view at their leisure. Some of the things that we'll talk about in this orientation are kind of revisiting the options that are available to parents for the upcoming school year that were put out by the Talladega County Board of Education. We'll also look at how the procedures are going to operate on day to day. How are we going to clean and sanitize the building? What are unloading and loading procedures going to look like? And just some of the things that we've had to put in place to take care of the safety and health of our students and staff. We're also going to look at the online system for paying all of your fees this year. We'll talk about the Chromebook orientation that begins next week. And we will talk about dress code and how it is going to look as far as the Talladega County Code of Conduct book goes this year. So let's go ahead and jump right in. And I know that there are going to be a lot of questions that some of these things raise in your minds. And so what I want you to do is, write them down, and please know that I am always available for emails or phone calls. Anytime you have a question, I don't care how simple you think the question may be, anything that can ease your mind about this situation that we're in, I want to be available to answer those questions. About a month ago, Dr. Lacey rolled out the Talladega County plan for reopening schools. And parents were presented with two options. The first option was a traditional option with phases. I mentioned this in the previous video that I sent out that what phase we are in is determined by the county. As things continue to change, it's a very fluid situation. And it could change from day to day leading up to school, whether or not we start in the traditional phase or the blended phase. The traditional phase is face-to-face instruction with enhanced cleaning procedures. The blended would be attend school part of the week, learn virtually the other part of the week. The remote would be a situation where all students were learning virtually. That is the first option that is presented to parents. The second one was the Beacon Virtual Academy. This is an online academy where students are working with outside facilitators and working on their assignments from home. One of the questions that has been asked has been, if my child does the Beacon Virtual Academy, can they still participate in extracurricular activities after school? And the answer to that is absolutely. Just because they are participating in the Beacon Virtual Academy does not mean they're not students of Lincoln High School. If you are a senior and working in the Beacon Virtual Academy, you will still graduate with your class. You will still participate in all of the things that we do, prom, graduation, that make your high school experience what it is. The other question that I've been asked is, what if things lighten up, a vaccine is made available, and they reopen schools back to normal? And the answer to that is, you are not locked into the Beacon Virtual Academy for the whole year. All they ask is that if you come back to the brick and mortar school, that it be at a natural breaking point, that breaking point being the end of the 9 weeks. So those are the two options that are available to parents. The registration for the Online Beacon Academy closes on Friday, July 24th. So I need you, if you are opting for the Beacon Virtual Academy, I need you to get that registered by this Friday. Every student, whether you are doing the traditional phase or the Beacon Academy, must register in Power Schools. This is where you have to do this process every year, and you fill out your contact information, your proofs of residence, you fill out your Chromebook device use policy. This is where you sign that, and all of this needs to be taken care of before we start Chromebook pickups next week. Per the Talladega County Board of Education, if a student has not completed the online registration process, we will not be able to issue them a device or provide them with their schedule. That has to be done first. So I need you to take care of that as quickly as possible. If you are a returning student and need your SNAP code, email me, I'll get you your SNAP code. And so that you can get registered, get all those documents signed and put together. Now we're going to talk for just a minute about our day-to-day procedures. There is no question that regardless of what phase we start in, things are going to look different. We're going to have to do things differently. We're going to have to be more vigilant in our awareness of wearing masks, being socially distanced when at all possible, the restroom, loading and unloading the buses, student drivers, hand sanitation, cleaning the building. All of these things are going to have to be addressed regardless of what phase we are in. If we are in the traditional, the blended, or the remote, doesn't matter. Those things will have to be in place. So the leadership team and I worked on putting together procedures that that the students will have to abide by and the staff will have to abide by. And so I'm going to go over these procedures, but the written form of this will be made available on our school website for you to look at and familiarize yourself with, because I'm going to be throwing a lot of information at you. And if you have any questions, again, it doesn't matter if I've covered it in this or not, please call me or email me. I'll be glad to answer your questions. In the morning, when you arrive at school, if you ride the bus, buses will be unloaded just like we always have, in waves. But we're going to stagger the waves a little bit. Bus riders will unload the buses at 7:25 and enter the building at their normal location, in the doors back behind the concession stand nearest to the gym. If you are a student driver, you will enter the parking lot as close to 7:25 as possible. Try to get, I know traffic happens, I know things happen, but on a normal day, please try to be here as close to 7:25 as possible. We don't need you here at 7 o'clock hanging out, because you will have to stay in your car until you're dismissed at 7:25. This year, our student drivers will park in the back parking lot. You will be assigned parking spaces based on your parking permit, and we will have our student drivers parking in the back. Once you are dismissed from your cars at 7:25, you will make your way down the alleyway between the gym and the field house and enter the doors nearest to the field house. That is where you will enter the building. Car riders, you will enter the building at the same place you always have. Once you are dropped off, there will be a staging area under the awning at the front of the school with a teacher monitoring it and making sure that we're maintaining social distancing protocols or wearing our masks. Okay? When the 7:25 bell rings and people enter the building, all students will report immediately to their first period class. That will be immediate. If you eat breakfast, you will go to the breakfast location at the back of the hall, collect your breakfast and report to your first period. We will not be eating breakfast in the lunchroom. Once we are in our classes, this will be a time for us to have a reading focus. It will be done through quiet reading. Teachers will be pulling small groups during this time. We will have writing prompts. There will be a defined focus to kind of get us going toward the day, because let's be honest, with 5 months since the last time we were in school together, that's a lot of time to not be in a classroom. So we're going to have to recover that time and make use of every minute we have instructionally. And so that first 20 minutes of the day is going to be our reading intensive care unit, where we are focusing on addressing some reading deficits, addressing writing deficits, and getting ready for the day during that first 20 minutes. During that first 20 minutes, this is where we will be calling for small groups to go to their lockers. Okay, we will be calling for freshmen and sophomores. Lockers are going to be spaced out, and we're going to be calling for groups at a time to go to their lockers. You will visit the lockers during 3 different periods in the day. At the beginning of the day, when we call for you, the organized locker time. At the end of the period, right before lunch, you will be allowed to go to your locker to get your lunch box and collect your items that you'll need for the remainder of the day. And you will be able to visit your locker at the end of the day. And as I said, lockers are going to be spaced out. We're going to make every effort we can to keep kids socially distanced. We are asking that, we're strongly encouraging our students and our staff to wear their masks, particularly while in the hall and in small groups in the classroom. We want to make sure that we're taking care of not just ourselves, but taking care of each other. And so that's how the locker procedures are going to go. Class changes are going to look a little bit different too. We will be doing staggered class changes, kind of like y'all used to do in the middle school, where we will ring a bell and small group of students will go ahead and transition to their next period, and then the next bell will ring and that group will transition to their next period. There's going to be a little bit less time in the hallways because of that, because like I said, we don't want to lose too much time instructionally in the classroom. But with us only having 3 locker visits during the day, it shouldn't be too difficult for students to get to their classes. As far as the restrooms go, restrooms are going to look a little different, because what happens is students go to the restroom during class changes. We get that, and we don't want to take that away. But we have to be mindful of the cleaning and the sanitation and making sure the restrooms aren't overcrowded. There's going to be limited number of stalls available in the restrooms to keep the numbers down. There will be a teacher assigned to the restrooms during each class change, where they are kind of a turnstile operator, making sure that people aren't backing up in there. At the end of each class change, the restrooms will be sanitized through a fogger or cleaning down with Lysol. So that is going to happen after each class change. One of the things that is where the main areas of concern was in the lunchroom. How do you have 570 kids in the lunchroom and keep them socially distanced? Well, the short answer to that is you can't. And so what we're doing this year is our lunchroom will only operate at 50% capacity. Okay? And so what that means is that on A days, half of the students will go to the lunch with their teacher, half will not. And in that lunchroom, classes have their assigned areas that they sit in, and teachers will be assigning seats to the students so that you will sit in the same spot every day to create static groups in that lunch phase. On B days, we will flip-flop that procedure. We want to be able to provide our kids with that social time that happens during the lunch period. And so this is the plan that we have in place to address the 50% capacity rule. The biggest linchpin to all of this is making sure that our school is sanitized and clean daily. Our custodians are attending training this summer to kind of give them an overview of what the deep cleaning and sanitation process is going to have to look like. The school will be sanitized twice a week in addition to the deep cleaning that occurs every day. Desks, doorknobs, restrooms, common areas are going to be high areas of concern for us as we move forward. Teachers will be wiping down desks after class changes and getting them ready for the next group coming in. Teachers will provide students with regular opportunities to sanitize their hands. There will be hand sanitation stations around the building provided for students. So the cleaning and the sanitation is probably the thing that is driving us the most in making sure that our kids are safe and providing them with a clean, healthy environment. As I said, we'll be doing staggered class changes. That will happen throughout the day. If you go during the class changes, if you're not able to make it to the restroom, and you may have to get back to class, we understand that there are going to be times where kids have to go to the restroom during class. Just not going to be able to get away from it. And so what we're doing, we don't want students taking advantage of that, but we do want to provide that opportunity. So we're having a school-wide restroom pass policy that students will be allotted a certain number of passes per semester that they will be able to use in each class. We also understand that there are students with medical documentation that require frequent restroom visits. This will be accommodated. Please do not stress out about that. That will be accommodated. So I just wanted to make y'all aware of that. At the end of the day, we are going to dismiss in waves, very much similar to like we did arrivals in the morning. At 3 o'clock, car riders and drivers will be dismissed. Car riders will exit from the front of the building. Car drivers will exit from the doors by the field house. At 3:02, senior and junior bus riders will be called. You will need to leave your classroom and report immediately to the bus. We're not going to have time to stand around and, chit-chat at the end of the day. At 3:04, sophomores and freshmen bus riders will be dismissed. You will all exit the doors down by the concession stand behind the gym. Okay? Question has also been asked, what happens if a student exhibits symptoms at school? How are you going to handle that? This is where we have to depend on our parents. There are going to be times where a student might exhibit symptoms. If they start exhibiting symptoms, whether it be a fever or the upper respiratory cough or any of the symptoms associated with the COVID-19 virus, they will be taken immediately to the nurse and placed in an isolation area. Their temperature will be taken. Regardless of whether or not they have a fever, parent, you are going to be contacted to let you know that your child has been brought to the school nurse. You will be contacted immediately and informed of the situation. Our Talladega County Board of Education and the Department of Public Health will be notified that we've had a child exhibiting symptoms, and we will take our lead from their guidance. As part of this current health situation and us having to change the way we do things, like I said, this orientation is a little bit different. It's not how we want to do it, and doing the Chromebook pickup this year is not going to be how we would normally do it, but we feel like we have a decent plan in place, and I want to kind of go over that right now. Starting next week on July 30th, between the hours of 4 and 6, our seniors will come for their Chromebook pickup, pick up their lockers, their parking permits, and their schedules. Now, all of this is dependent on whether or not you have completed the PowerSchool registration process. And we will have a printout. If there's any part of it that you haven't completed, we will not be able to complete it on site. You will need to do that prior to arrival. Okay? The procedure is going to be this. When you arrive at the school, we will need you to enter the property from the entrance down by Patton Chapel Road behind the baseball field, not the front entrance. You will come down that back road and enter into the bus line driveway in front of the gym. There will be a teacher at the entrance. You will state your name, your child's name. We will radio it in to our running crew, and they will collect the Chromebook, the locker, parking permit, and the schedule. You will drive around. We will lay the items on a table at the curb, and you will collect those items. We feel like that this will keep the process moving fairly quickly, fairly smoothly. But we need you to take care of paying the online fees and completing all paperwork prior to arrival. The Chromebook device acceptable use policy is found in the PowerSchool registration. The parking permit application is going to be posted on our school website. You will need to have that with you along with a copy of your insurance card ready to turn in to be able to collect your parking permit. As far as paying your fees online, this year it will be done through our PayPams account. Those of you that have done your lunch money through this are familiar with it. Locker fees this year will be $10. Parking fees will be $10. The Chromebook fee will be $40. This is the usage fee and the insurance provided by Talladega County. To log into the PayPams account, you will need to go to paypams.com, and it will walk you through the process of creating an account. Once you are on the website, you will select your state and your school district, and you'll create a username and password and add children to that account. Once you're in there, the links to the lockers, the parking permit, and the Chromebook are all up and running and should be ready to go. We will also post these directions on our school website so that you will have them available to you. Some of the things as far as the county policies, code of conduct book, we need you to make sure that students that you have read through this and gone over it thoroughly so that you understand it. One of the things that was changed this year was our communication device policy. Just want to let you know that it is still prohibited under the Talladega County Board of Education Code of Conduct. But parents, I just kind of wanted to go over what the process is going to be if your child is sent to the office with a cell phone. If they are found to be with a cell phone or a smartwatch, the teacher will collect the device and call for an administrator. We'll come down, take the child, we'll lock the phone and the smartwatch. We'll lock it up. We will contact the parent. The parent will have to come collect the device, but the child will not spend any time in Oscar for the first offense. One of the main reasons for this is we've got to try to keep our kids in class as much as possible so that we are, again, squeezing every valuable moment out of our instruction time that we can. On the second offense, it'll be the same process, but this time they will spend a day in school suspension. And on the third offense, it'll be 2 days of in-school suspension. It's a little bit different than it was last year. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. We want to, on that first offense, we want to try to get them back into class. But guys, students, one thing that I learned this year was that if I ask you to do something, you really go out of your way to meet that expectation. So I'm asking you, when you come to school, turn your phone off, put it in your locker, put your smartwatch away, and just don't put us all in a situation where you end up getting taken out of class. I believe that if I ask you to do that, you'll take care of it, and this won't even be a problem. Dress code. We do have non-uniform days built in this year. We are going to, it will all be tied to, spirit weeks, behavior, attendance, all of these things. But we are still required to wear uniforms. Students, your uniforms must be khaki, navy, or black pants, solid color shirt with a collar, emblem no bigger than a quarter. Of course, I'm not going to measure it, but just kind of eyeballing it. In the event that we do a non-uniform day, we will have certain guidelines. There may be a uniform day, a non-uniform day, where we can wear jeans and a Lincoln shirt, just a spirit day. But there will be other days where we have just a non-uniform day to wear what you want to wear as far within the dress code. And it may be that those students that haven't been in Oscar for that week receive that non-uniform day, or those students that haven't missed more than one day or haven't checked in will have that non-uniform day. We will have those built in, and you will know ahead of time when you will have non-uniform days. Otherwise, you do need to be in uniform, and I ask that you respect the code of conduct and keep yourselves in dress code. Last year, the question was asked, can we wear Crocs? I believe that this school is our home away from home, and I want you guys to be comfortable. The code of conduct states that if shoes are closed-toed and have a back, that they are within dress code. Well, Crocs do fit that description, provided that the straps are pulled down to the back. I don't want to have to spend all the time saying, hey, put your strap down. And if that becomes a problem, then we may take that privilege away for a couple of days. But I don't think that's going to be a problem, because most of the time last year, everybody did what they were supposed to do with that. So Crocs will be allowed. The question has also been asked about the hoodies. You may wear any hoodie you want as long as it fits the dress code. Solid color, either Lincoln or solid color. Not a lot of writing or designs on the hoodie. You do have to wear a collared shirt under the hoodie. We did run into this a little bit at the end of the year last year, where people would want to wear t-shirts under the hoodie and not a collared shirt. Please, please, please abide by the dress code, okay? So that, if we do these things, we don't need to spend all our time worrying about dress code. We've got a lot of catching up to do over the next few months because of what we lost the last 9 weeks. Backpacks, clear mesh, those, if you are in sport, baseball, softball, soccer, volleyball, football, and you have an athletic bag, we will get you a tag to put on that athletic bag that you will have to have on it. And once you get to school, as you report to your first period, you will drop this bag off to your coach, and it will stay with them until the end of the day, until practice. Okay? This is not a bag for you to be carrying around other stuff. It's only for your in-sport activities. Question has been asked about face masks. Use of face masks for students and staff will be, let me stress, highly encouraged. The Alabama State Department of Education will be providing 3 masks per student, but students may bring their own masks. We are going to be having school-based masks made available to students if they want to purchase them. They will be Lincoln Golden Bear masks. As soon as they come in, I will make them available to the parents and to the students. Masks must be solid color or school approved. There are some masks that have designs on them, and we want to be able to allow you to do that. If you're going to wear a mask, we want you to feel comfortable with it. We want you to feel stylish with it. What we do ask is that kind of the same approach to the code of conduct book when it comes to the dress code. That the mask not have anything offensive, drug or alcohol related, anything political, any profanity. These masks, if they're just designed, colored, whatever, those will be fine. And if you have a question about it, email me. Okay, I'd rather you email me and let's have a conversation about it than show up the first day and you're told that the mask doesn't fit the dress code. Okay, so just make sure that you check with us. The mask will be used during small group instruction to follow the Department of Public Health guidelines. They'll be used in the hallways to meet the guidelines for social distancing. So if you have any questions about masks, please don't hesitate to let me know. Again, daily dress code requirements: solid color pullover or button-up shirt with a collar. It must be tucked in. Pants are khaki, dark navy, or black, must fit properly. Skirt or shorts, same color as the pants. Shoes, closed-toed. Like I said, Crocs will be allowed. Coats, any color. You can wear, look, when it gets cold, if you have a jacket or a coat that's out of dress code, I am not going to tell you not to wear it, okay? Please don't go out and buy a new coat just because yours doesn't fit dress code. Wear the coat. All I ask is that if it doesn't meet dress code, go ahead and put it in the locker. We'll keep the building warm, I promise. I promise. Belts can be worn, but aren't required as long as the pants fit properly. If pants start sagging and you can't keep your pants up, then we'll require the belt. But you guys are old enough to take care of that, and so if the pants fit properly, I'm not going to go looking for the belt. Like I said, hoodies may be worn, but must be in dress code or school affiliated. Guys, this is going to be a lot different in the way we do school. But parents, I want you to know how much the teachers and I and the rest of the staff love your children, and we are so excited to get them back on campus. We are so excited. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate all that you've done for us. And if there's ever anything I can do, I want you to let me know. One additional thing that I jumped right over in regards to the Chromebook pickups. The schedule is as follows. On July 30th at 4 to 6, that will be for seniors. July 31st from 4 to 6 will be for our juniors. August the 3rd, Monday, from 4 to 6 will be for our sophomores, and August the 4th, on Tuesday, from 4 to 6, will be for our freshmen. Guys, I love you. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your lives. And if there is anything you need, questions, answers, I know this is going to raise a lot of questions in your mind, please let me know. Please let me know. You call the school. You can call my office at 256-315-5296, or you can email me at mbynum@tcboe.org. In the meantime, guys, you stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you at the start of school.